Yes, that's me bringing the Boxwing out for his first water start. This is the biggest lake we had near the airport. So this was the only chance to test if it will be possible to start and land from water. And you can see here there are much difficulties. It works and the Boxwing is finally available on our website aerojtp.com. And now let's take a look how the final prototype was made. Problem with the last prototype was that it just sank too deep into the water. It also doesn't glide as good as it should be to perform a very short distance water start. So we had to design the whole underbody fuselage. And here you can see what we did. We just spread the wings and built it out like a kind of a surfboard with much more area for better buoyancy and also better glide capacity, that it will lift off the whole body immediately when the Boxwing starts accelerating on the water surface. Also on the tail was a lot of volume added to prevent deep sinking into the water, especially when immediately stopping from high speeds. And to give the Boxwing some grip while traveling on water, we added these steps at the tail from the underwing that should prevent too much sliding to each side. And finally a cooling for the motor mount was installed, that it is also possible to print this from normal PLA. Should be printed from much more temperature resistant materials like PETG or ABS, but with this internal cooling tunnel it is possible and keeps the whole motor much more cool. And that's how it looked like, our final design from the boat version, the water version of the Boxwing. So as last step we added some nice FPV features where you can use two cameras, one fixed one with a front view and the second one which is as gimbal for tilt and pan. And the new big parts with the new underwing are printed. Bamboo Lab did a nice outer wing. Comes to the others. And here's the front part. Really love this outline. And the last parts are getting ready. New wings with the fences. And the Bamboo Lab made some wonderful PLA parts. First time these zigzag stripes printed. Super sharp. Super sharp. Almost all parts are done. It's time for prototype number 4. I think on no other model I built so many different prototypes because this is so special, this Boxwing. And let's see how this is coming out. Oh, here are the new special parts with complete integrated lower buoyancy wing. See what this weight says, 61 grams. That's really a big part. Super lightweight and nice detailed. And the second one, 44, perfect. The all new Boxwing fuselage. And here it is, the all new fuselage. With the special surfboard under design to glide on the water. Weight just 138 grams for this whole thing. It's getting closer. So, parts are heated in the oven. They're looking good. This time I covered every part, also all the rudders, because they grow a little bit on volume when they get in touch with water. So everything has to be covered, especially the lower side I covered twice to seal them best possible. The rest is only one time covered. Oh, a little bit balancing. Okay. And also flying back to the workshop. So, yeah, and you can see it. This is more rough, one time covered, and the lower side more shiny. Or even here, I think the areas where I sanded a little bit, it sucks more resin in. Here I didn't send so much, so maybe I give it a third one, but I think 2 is enough. 2 is enough. I recognized some small water drops coming out of this version after the first water test when I covered it just once. That's the main reason why I started covering twice. But it's a really good seal. I also didn't recognize any extra weight from any water. Also there was never any noise that there is some water in it. So but to make sure, cover the whole surface, the whole lower surface twice. Also means the lower wing, everything that is in longer touch with water, and on the upper side one time covering with the resin is enough. And that's how the new underwing works. It glides much better on water. Here we can also see it compared to the old one. The old one makes much more waves and has more resistance underwater. Right from the beginning, I was super convinced that the Boxwing will do it on this tiny lake, and it shows off that this higher position, higher up over the water, makes the yaw much easier. You can see it's super maneuverable, and it also helped when you push forward with the elevators to lift up the tail. Then you can rotate all around on a point, and so I get a bit comfortable with this super small lake, and then let's go. This shaking, what you can see here, this was induced by too much gyro gain on elevator, and I think also this underwater wing was too big on its front, and this was both corrected, so it will work much better. But nevertheless, it took a very short start distance, and immediately the Boxwing was airborne. This micro lake was surrounded by a lot of obstacles, so it took a lot of concentration to not hit them. That's the reason why I just stand there on the approach, that I don't hit this green mini house. And I took some tries to get comfortable with the situation and go deeper and deeper. And I did a super short landing, I think as short as possible. This was not for 100% planned, but I was super happy with the outcome because everything was right, and also this type of spectacular landing will be possible, not just this normal glide landing where this lake could be a bit too short. So there's also a way to land nearly on 1 square meter, and here you can see I'm searching for a way out to the shore to check the Boxwing again and change the battery and make it ready for the next water start. Yeah, and this time I really got too deep into this underwater jungle, into nature, and I have to recover the Boxwing with some long rod I happily have had with me. I think this was some parts from my camera equipment, and finally I could save it. But yeah, I had to go deep into the water, and let's go for the next one. And this second water start already works much better. You can see there's just very little oscillation. I think the gain from the gyro on elevator could also be reduced a little bit, and also this underwater wing is already made smaller, that it should look as smooth as possible. But nevertheless, that's a very nice water start with a very short distance. And yes, the problem is not a start. The difficult thing is the landing, and here I get stuck with one of these high grasses and did again this special kind of landing. But again, there was no problem. Just the nose of the Boxwing went underwater, and this was for us the final motivation to design a watertight box for all the electronics, because some water gets into the Boxwing from the gap between the canopy and the fuselage, but no problem. But I think this was enough testing on this little lake, and let's go on land. And here I want to show you some specialties of the Boxwing. For instance, this high alpha flying, which works very easy and very good. It is absolutely controllable with all 3 axes, rudder, air and elevator. And you can also do these as super short landings, and these normal takeoff on grass is also possible. These under fuselage fin is designed for water start and land start. And here I'm testing the upside down flying, and this is also no problem. You just have to push a bit on elevator, but then it runs really good. Also negative loops are possible, and this is here what I do at the most, which is the most funny thing. This vertical start. For this one you have to pull full and then immediately give full throttle. And here I'm doing a normal landing. This is one of the most difficult parts to land normally, because you should flare while landing normally. And it is much more easy to do these high alpha landings with this mid stop in the air, because this is an experimental airplane, the Boxwing. This has experimental behavior. It doesn't behave like a normal plane, maybe like you know it. The special thing is when you lift up the nose about, let's say, 15 degrees, it immediately flipped over to about 70 degrees. And in this area it is super controllable, but this flip area, so about 15 degrees, that's a bit tricky. Yeah? So you have to decide when you land, then you have to stay horizontally and down flare when you land. Normally, you also saw it on my water landings, there I start flaring and immediately the nose gets up. This is the only special thing on the Boxwing. The rest is super normal. Yeah, and you can do these cool maneuvers here, this Cobra. I think this is a super training airplane for doing or for training Cobra maneuvers. There is no possibility, or I didn't done it, to flip completely over. This is just possible when you stay on full throttle and pull as much, but when you do these mid-air stops, I never had the issue that the Boxwing flipped completely to the back. It just goes to about, let's say, 100 degrees, and then it flips back with a nice little forward move of the nose, so that you can do these hovering, and you always have a little bit forward direction, so that it doesn't stay in the air. You always move a little bit forward and can easily control it on all 3 axes. That makes flying with the Boxwing super comfortable. It needs a bit training. Yeah, this is said. It is not a beginner airplane. It is for those of you that like to do something new, that like to have a new experience, and it is so much fun. It is really so much fun to fly with this, because it is something I didn't any time before. There is no comparable airplane I know, and this will be also be a great trainer for the upcoming VTOL JRM jets, because on VTOL there is also, you have to be able to fly a normal airplane, and you have to be able to fly a helicopter, and everything in between. And the Boxwing, for me, it is a perfect trainer plane. It is easy to build, fast to build, with super cheap components. It's also super durable, so even if you do some bad landings, you can just bond it again with some super glue. I never had any broken propeller. I'm super happy how reliable these propeller are, even with this 6 blades. There was never something broke, and you can see, I think I fly now for 5 days of, I think, like this with the Boxwing at all, and now I can perform these vertical landings, or these special landings with high alpha without any problems. And it's a super nice feeling that you bring down the Boxwing on this special way, not just on normal landing, also on these high alpha landings, and let it look smooth as possible. That's a thing of training, but you will see that you will also do a lot of progress, and it's a perfect trainer plane. And never forget, you got a trust to weight ratio from more than 2 to 1. So this thing weighs about I think 800 grams, and the thrust is more than 2 kilograms. So whatever happens, just push your throttle forward and you will get up in the sky. Yeah, and this happens when you flare on normal landing, then the nose goes up, and yeah, you can be lucky and everything is fine, or you do roll over. But also in this case, it's no big deal. Maybe you have to glue some small parts, but oftentimes even there happens just nothing. And also the propellers are super reliable, as I said, and you can just go on flying and train it so long if you do it perfect. Because this is an experimental plane. I can't say it often enough. This has special features, and it is for training. It is for doing something new, for having fun, and to train your capabilities of flying an airplane. But you don't have to be angry that you start spinning immediately for no reason. This is the cool thing on a Delta airplane. Even when there is some specialties on elevator, on aileron, I never had a problem that the Boxwing went to one side. It just went nose up, and it can easily be recovered just by giving throttle to a climb, or to start control the situation. When you keep on pulling and give a little throttle, then you can start hovering. Here I try to spin with full elevator pulled, and you can see that the Boxwing also tries to spin, but it looks a bit strange. It's more some, let's say, vertical rolls, and it recovers from its own. Just let go the sticks to neutral position, and it flies again straight ahead. So absolutely no problem. And this thing is super maneuverable. You have a roll rate, I think, from over 400 degrees per second if you want to. You can also fly it very comfortable. As recommended in the manual, you should use lots of expo. Yeah, this is super important because of this big speed area here for this super slow flight. You need big deflections, and it makes it much easier when you have much expo, and when you fly fast, then you don't need these big deflections. And that's the reason why expo is super important. It flies much more easy when you have, I think, I recommend 30 to 40% expo, and yeah, this is absolutely recommended. And yeah, here you can see what happened when you don't give full throttle immediately, then you just go on your nose, so also no big problem. Important is when you do this vertical start with the belly into the wind. Yeah, so always the belly into the wind. This makes the whole procedure much more easy. And here I'm going to train the Cobra maneuver in much lower and even lower height. And you see there's never any danger that the plane will crash. It is just a thing of controlling and steering it after doing this full stop in mid-air, and this is super fun. This was also very new for me, and this is the first plane where I can perform these Cobras in this low level without any danger. So that's the second thing that is super special on the Boxwing. Also flying fast here on ground level, super fun. Not to forget, on this day, which you can see here, it was very windy, really very windy, and also there is a row of trees just here on the left side. You can't see it all the time, and these trees and the wind together produce a lot of vortices. That's the reason why the Boxwing is sometimes a little bit shaky while doing these hovering maneuvers. This was not caused by the gyro. I think the gyro settings are not bad here at the moment. I think I'm in the first third on the gyro when you have these little rotation switches there where you can set up the gain is in the first third on all deflection, rudder, AL and elevator, and this works really nice, also nice for water. I think you can go lower, yeah, so that the gyro gain is really very little. Here I want to show you a little bit our process of designing the camera version. This is the tilt and pan gimbal. This works with super micro servos, so that is super lightweight for these standard FPV cams. I think here we got an Runcam Phoenix SE installed, and yeah, we just have to design something between these camera, pan and tilt camera, and the Boxwing itself. And this came out really funny. Mark is always saying we designed a duck or a chicken. Yeah, I don't know, maybe what is your intention? You can write it in the comments what you think the Boxwing looks like with this camera mount on the nose installed. But this even if it looks funny, it works really nice. You can have a very new experience, I think, with flying this Boxwing in FPV, because it's a really mixture from a drone and normal plane. You got these super thrust to weight capacity, more than 2:1. You can start vertically, you can land nearly vertically, you can fly speeds, I think it's over 150 km/h. At the moment with these 6 blade props, these props are not for high speed, and also the engines are with 1750 kV, so this setup is more for high thrust, cause I want to be safe on the water starts. But when you go to 2000 or 2500 kV and use a 3 blade prop, I think you can go much faster. And also you can install really high power engines. Yeah, this engine nacelles are reinforced with some carbon rods, so there shouldn't be any problem. And here we can take a final look on the water Boxwing and all its details. So let's have a closer look on the two variants you can get on Aero JTP. We start with the narrow version or basic version of the Boxwing. This is designed for land start, vertical start and snow start, but not for water. It has a narrow fuselage, so it's a little bit more lightweight and you don't have to cover it with resin to make it watertight. Here you can see how we install the electronics with the two holders for the ESCs, and this is the rudder servo working. Here on this particular plane we use very high quality servos for very precise control. So I think these 8mm aluminum case servos, which are very strong and also lightweight and especially super precise. So, and let's take a look on the upper wing. Here we installed these slats on the outer wing in combination with some wing fences to make the transition from normal flight to these high alpha maneuvers as smooth as possible. And here you can see how it looks inside the Boxwing with these cooling channels on the engine to keep the whole motor mount cool, that there will be no thermal problems with the printed motor adapter. And this is how the servo looks like with the arms and the ball heads. Everything is kept super easy and super light, super easy to install into the fuselage. You can reach everything very nice with just removing the canopy. And that's the shadow version with the FPV front section installed. Here we can see the camera, the front camera for tilt and pan, and also how it looks inside. And now let's go on with the water version with this big fuselage and this lower wing. This is not made for FPV because of the water, and I think the camera wouldn't touch the water anytime, so we made this water nose just for the shallow version. But here you can see the watertight box and all the electronics inside. We recommend to tighten these holes where the wires run through on the top of the box with some super glue. And here you can see the upper servos. They are also mounted very high above the water, so there shouldn't be any problem. And you can see we had to make some extra dents to reach these super big deflections, which are necessary to fly these high angles of attack. And here's again the rudder servo, and that's it looks how with the canopy installed. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Take a look on our website, AeroJTP, and check out the Boxwing. This is a very nice airplane for training and just for fun. Yeah, we say especially it is not for beginners. Yeah, because there are some specialties like I explained before, which you have to keep in mind. But at the end, this is easy for training. I never get any trouble, and you know, this is the 4th prototype with a lot of tuning on it, and it flies very well overall, and especially water starts and landings, and these vertical landings is a lot of fun. So enjoy your Boxwing, enjoy flying and building it, and we see us in the next video. Bye bye.